But right now, we have to get on to the most important part of the show. The only reason I bother doing this. True, it is.
The highlight of Jerry's week.
Yeah. I don't care about anything else after this bit. And it's the first part of the year as well. So it's this is a gem. This is an absolute gem.
Number one slot must be the best.
I like to think so. And it's our indie of the week. And this week, it's Clearco Miniatures.
Ooh.
Now, Clearco is
not a wholesaler of random cleaning goods. No.
Do they just do clear bases and nothing else?
No,
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because I want to be able to see my squares. Clearco is like a proper indie. I know we do a lot of proper indies because it is my want in life. Clearco is a one-man operation with Juan Aclera. Aguilera? I don't know. Christina? I can't speak Spanish, so that's probably not going to go down well. But he is a one-man operation, and I will preface this with he currently is not resident in his home country. So when you order stuff from him, email him. He will then tell you the next window when he's going to be casting and shipping stuff out. So, and I know some people go, oh, I want this stuff immediately. And if they put an order in, then they're on the internet whining that they haven't got it 24 hours later because people are terrible like that. This, if you like the models, be prepared to wait for them. However, they're worth waiting for, is what I'm going to say. Nice. I'll also throw in there, he does say that Badger Games in the US stock them. Currently, they don't because he's not able to keep them fulfilled because of the way he's having to work. So with those caveats in there, people may have heard me mention I'm after Plains Wars Indians last year, and I was going, I can't find nice ones.
Jerry went hunting.
Jesus, Juan does some beautiful Plains Wars Indians. These
Jerry sent up the indie signal.
I put up a smoke signal, and they all came back to me, which was just absolutely delightful. So these are Crow Warriors. These are work in progress. So he works off a blog spot, so you can see what he's working on, and then he has a separate page on the catalog, which will be listed below, where you can actually see what's available already. But these are Crow mounted warriors, and they are absolutely beautiful. I mean, for people looking to do Legends of the Old West Plains Wars, like I am, or Dead Man's Hand, Fistful of Lead, looking forward to playing that soon. These are just absolutely stonking.
Yeah.
Native Americans, part of the 500 nation sort of tribes.
Now, how many tribes does he do? Just the Crow or others?
No. Currently, there's I think there's 3. There's Pawnee, Crow, and somebody else. But then there's also generic Plains Indians. So the warrior societies, the chieftain, the more unusual types are there. And then there's just generic warriors if you need just generic warriors. And as you can see, for a man who's sort of doing his own do on his Todd, there's some beautiful stuff in here.
I love the attention to detail.
The Cheyenne look really good.
Yeah, the whole thing started off, I think, via the medium of Lead Adventure years ago.
Okay.
If I go to the actual product catalog bit, so there's his low maintenance warning. Email him. His email is up here with orders and questions. And then you can pay via PayPal, which is great because PayPal protects you when you're ordering stuff. Everybody knows that. So, like I say, you've got plenty of protection in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do. Do I want to go? No, I won't. We'll get there. We'll get there in the end. He did some stuff for some people and cast them in resin himself way back in like 2013. And then subsequent to that, he put a call out for somebody who could cast the stuff in metal for him. And then this is the result. So as you can see here, we have some of the Crow Warriors, which come with a variety of weapons, including, muskets or rifles or hand weapons. and bows.
Ooh.
And because the figures themselves have got this really nice attention to detail to them, there's some absolute gems in here, especially when we hit the Pawnee, or one of my favorite, just from aesthetic point of view.
Yeah.
But any of the Plains Indians are really nice.
I do love the idea that he's going into enough detail to actually be able to subdivide the tribes instead of just doing plain generic Native American, which some companies do and do very well, and that's fine. But getting that extra level of like detail into it, I like.
And you get to see some really terrific work, like the Crow leader here, with the headdress and the very feathered shield. And it has all those layers of sort of fine beadwork and embroidery on the animal skins and like that you would see in films and TV shows of my youth, which is really nice to see.
It's a good way of showing the respect for the
various nation tribes. Yeah,
nations. Yeah, the tribes. Yeah.
These are the Pawnee. I mean, right off the bat, that. Which is like a gun stock club. That Pawnee had war clubs. Remember that bit in Last of the Mohicans where you had the guy who was like half red, half black?
Yeah,
the mohawk. Very similar aesthetic to that. Where, as far as even though the Pawnee are sort of Central America, Central North America, not Central America, which is. Jesus. Rename your
stupid America.
But yeah, so these have a very distinct look, and I think in the remake of the Magnificent Seven, there might be there's
there might have been, actually,
there's a Native American on both sides. There's one joins the Magnificent Seven, and then he's hunting the evil killer who'd done up his family, and I think he was Pawnee anyway. But yeah, the really intricate these gun stock weapons. I mean, if you get those, you can do a lot of additional bits and pieces with them, because they were just wooden clubs, and then they had additional sort of metal spikes added to them. But they did really intricate pierce work and stuff on them, where they would like carve out holes and sections and stuff, and do. So you could go to town on both the painting and the actual display of it itself.
I think I remember seeing one of those on Forest and Fire. So Modern Smith had to make those. Well, two Modern Smiths had to make those.
Yeah.
And then they bashed them into stuff to see if they would break.
Yeah.
Good time in the can.
Yeah.
So as you can see.
That reminds me of Deadliest Warrior. What a good show.
Oh, God. That's a callback.
Was that the one where they had the IRA against the Taliban?
Something like
that. I think
yes, it is.
God.
Right, okay.
They were like, let's see whether Knight could beat a samurai.
yeah, that is them. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so the Pawnee, as you see there's a couple of standard warrior packs. There's elite warrior packs, and then there's
more of the detail on one of those. Weapons as well.
Yeah. So you can tell the better grade, and depending on the system you're playing, it may or may not be something that actually comes into play. But just having the alternative versions in there, and then, like I say, you can do your own version as well. That massive feathered headdress for the war chief is just stunning, and this is the sort of model and detail that I was looking for, that I just wasn't finding with some of the other companies who are doing Plains Indians.
Well, there's just a little bit too generic in that respect, where they
I wouldn't. Yeah. They weren't going into the level of detail that Juan has. So it wasn't so cut and dried as to these are.
I see.
I mean, you do get some like Apaches and the like that are a bit more nailed on from other companies, but this is just terrific. These are some Wolf Scouts. These are sort of generic type. And for somebody who used to play Ratskins in Necromunda when it used to be a good game, these are really amusing to me.
But it used to be a game.
So the idea that you can just have your generic Wolf Scouts, I don't know how prevalent they were within the native community,
but they look awesome.
They do look absolutely awesome. Then we have just the generic Plains Wars type as well. So these could sort of fill the ranks for any of the tribes, and then you just go a bit nuts with it yourself.
Play around with the painting in order to match them to whichever.
Exactly. Add war painter like if you need to, or if required, I suppose, because obviously not always needed there. Also, the weaponry is interesting because there's a nice mix of modern, and by modern I mean for the period, revolvers, repeaters, rifles, that sort of thing.
Traditional and acquired.
Alongside the traditional, yeah. Which means it means you've got that. You could do the various periods. Some of these would work for earlier periods of warfare, so not just the Wild West / Old West type of thing, but you could have them push them back into the 1700s, and maybe do some of the stuff like Blood and Plunder
and stuff like
and Flint and Feather, and have it going that way. I really like just that.
Is it just Native American stuff, or is there more to the range?
Mostly Native American, which is why I'm here. There's a few other bits, like I say, he didn't start with Native American way back, but we'll hit those towards the end.
Okay.
There is this as well, which caught me unawares. Yes, he is wearing chainmail.
Yeah.
Really?
And then I went and had a wee.
I am confuzzled.
Yeah, I went and had a wee look, and chainmail has been found in some Native American sites, because obviously it's been in country since 1400s, 1500s when
Lee Vikings.
No, the Spanish conquistadors came in, and so obviously some of it got taken and then was handed down. I'm sort of, the metalworking isn't there, but they just take care of what they had laid their hands on. So I think there's a Kansas Historical Society has some chainmail that they reckon come from Spanish horse armor in like the 15th century. So like I say, caught me completely unawares. I'm going, oh, that's different, but I appreciate it. Some of the Cheyenne.
I really like the dynamic poses toward the models as well. Like they're all in proper fighting poses for the most
beautiful part. For doing skirmish games, raids, that sort of thing. You've got your small bands of warriors clashing against each other. I'm sure the likes of Primal, the New Zealand based tribal, I suppose. Maybe a better fit. Actually having clashes of the actual tribes themselves. Ignore European settlers altogether. They can write off, and instead focus on the clashes that would happen between various tribes on the edges of their sort of ancestral lands. That could be interesting, and just have Native American against Native American. The Cheyenne war chief there is just cracking.
Very good.
It's what I want to see, and I know this is really weird, because there are other companies who've gone like, here's a warband of Apache, here's a warband of Plains Indians, and then you look at them and you're going, but they look. Where's
just
this?
want that little extra something in there.
I just want
drilling down into each tribe.
I want more beads, more feathers, more detail on the animal skins and on the clothing, and just more. I just want more.
I think something that's, seems like a small thing, probably a big thing as well at the same time. I like that the facial details are appropriate as well. It's not just like generic
dolly. Yeah.
It actually looks like a Native American or First Nations individual on the model, which I think is kind of important, because it's one of those things where you look at it, you're like, oh, that just looks like a random dude dressed up in like a 60s, 70s movie or something, whereas this actually looks like the peoples that you're trying to represent on the table, which I think is good.
Another thing is nice is he does the weapon packs. So if you want to pick a period, if you don't want to have the 1800s, you don't want to have all modern weapons, you want to do that, early clashes of Native Americans against European settlers, or internecine tribal warfare, then you can pick up. So you just go, right, well, he has a gun, he doesn't anymore. He now has a club or a bow, whatever it happens to be. You can see some of his lances. So
what was with the wiggly spears that we saw with some of them? Is that a ceremonial thing maybe, or is that like
well, we might see some of the wiggly spears in a minute, but these are sort of like warrior lances,
right?
Like almost like a sort of a knight's heraldry type of thing. So a warrior would have their own specific lance then for challenges or
I see.
that type of thing. I'm not sure where. I'm gonna have a quick look and see if I can see wiggly lances. For the Cheyenne.
Yeah. I wondered if it was just sort of like a ceremonial thing.
I think it may be more of the same as far as the sort of tribal heraldry.
They're not native.
No. Like I say, there are a few others. So there's a set of Neanderthals. Yeah, and handy if people want to play Primal.
Savage Core as well.
Yeah. So that's a bit different. Some additional cast spears and clubs, including a big thigh bone.
Yeah.
You two can batter people to within an inch of their life. And the original stuff was zombies. So zombies and a few survivors as well, which is where Juan's initial sort of sculpts came from. He originally did them for somebody specifically, and then they were cast in resin for them, and then
very cool.
Sort of it developed from that point. Female survivors.
It's very good if you're delving into that game that's coming back this year from Mantic called The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
If you want to make your own survivors.
I
mean, I am severely tempted to buy in this time because it's one that I feel I missed out on, and I don't want to miss out again.
Same thing here. Yeah.
I like this one. This is one of my favorite simply because of these three. So there's like a canopic jar.
Yeah.
But then there's also
that's a little fertility idol.
Fertility idol from Germany. Yep.
Yes.
Not sure what the one on the end is. It has a bit of an Easter Island look to it, but it has a full body, so probably not.
Definitely something
I know they had full bodies,
some kind of strange curse on somebody.
I mean, when the world ends, go to your favorite knick-knack shop and get your bits.
You
yeah.
And you two can get in there punching people up.
Very nice.
That's the end of us.
Very cool.
But
very cool.
Very good.
A terrific range of stuff. Juan's on the Facebook as well. So you can keep an eye on what he's doing there, or just have a nosy around his blog. You can see what he's been working on. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm very curious to see the New Year, New Jerry with these painted.
Yeah. Just as soon as the U-boat's done, I'll be straight in there. Like a whippet, like a rat up a drain pipe. I'll be bam, done. I've got to contact him and see when the next shipping date is, to be fair. It could be soon. It might be a few months off. But there's plenty of time. It's not like I've got nothing left to paint. But yeah, if you're interested in checking out some Plains Wars Indians, the 500 Nations, have a look at Clearco. You'll be very impressed. Right, let's have some news.